Okay, so you want to get into detailing, maybe you want to start a business, or maybe you just want to do it to make your cars look good. Well, this is the show for you to watch. I've got Larry Kosilla from Drive Clean today on After Drive, and we're going to give you all that information and more, so stick around. Okay, so we're at Classic Car Club Manhattan as usual, and there's a lot of activity and stuff going on. So, you know, there's general mayhem, and we are in the shop because there was some jackhammering going on.
Yes, there was.
Larry, good to see you, man.
Good to see you.
All right, cool. So Drive Clean is
Yep.
your show on Drive.
We're in
so
season 3.
You're in season 3.
Yep.
The first season was kind of rudimentary stuff.
Kind of basic detailing. Hey, you know, step 1, step 2, step 3. Here's some
Right.
PDFs, download them kind of thing.
How do you keep it fresh and going into the third season?
Into the third season, I'm kind of thinking, you know, I need to show a little bit of that, but also show what you can do with the car afterwards.
Yeah.
Listen, I'm not going to be drifting or whatever. That's not my bag. But you know, some track things or how to prep the car, how to dyno your car. That was
Yeah.
like the most fun that I had because I didn't know.
Yeah.
And I said, you know, kind of saying to the camera, I don't really have a script for this. I don't really know how it goes. So I think taking people along with that journey is kind of fun.
Well, that's cool because it's your car, and you're it's like you're going through the processes of doing different things and
Sure.
making mistakes that we've all made, and everybody's, you know, you get to that point when you're working on something, whether it's an engine or you're detailing or something, you're like stumped and I don't know how to do it, and you start Googling and like, you know, you go to the forums and stuff. But so that's really cool that you're going through that process.
And having it on film. You can take it and people can utilize it later and be like, oh, I remember, you know, Larry did this and it went wrong or something, so let's avoid
Yeah.
that. Or hey, this went really great. It's just more information to make better decisions on your car because it's only one car.
Right.
With 964, there's 1,000 different Porsches or Ferraris or whatever. It's hard to be exact on everything.
And it's cool because I love that car. I mean, you've done a lot of stuff to it too.
I do. It's pretty neat.
Yeah.
We've done put it from a 3.6 to a 3.8. So we shot a video on that. That was 4 months.
It's like an RS-ish.
It's an RS motor, yeah. It's
all right.
Trying to mimic that.
Okay.
And then, in that same vein, I put the RS brake ducts in. Ooh. Now, I shot a video on my own little YouTube channel, and I put it in, and I was like, listen, guys, I put this in, but it doesn't actually do anything. I did it because it looks cool, and I'm just telling you up front. I didn't want anyone to be like, it doesn't work. So now, tomorrow, I'm actually shooting another video. We're going to make them functional. Now, here's the cool part. Of a regular 964, not an RS, like my car's a regular car, a regular 964, the driver's side has AC condenser and the passenger side has the oil cooler.
Sure.
So if you put those ducts in and you run hoses through, you have to run them like through, it doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
So RS, those are deleted, so you can just run the brake duct. So now, I still want the brake duct because my OCD is not letting me. Like I look at it and like, you're faking it right now, you're pretending. I don't want it to pretend. So we're gonna show you how to like, basically run the pipe through when you have a stock car.
Yeah. Well, it's cool because it's called Drive Clean, but you're actually doing some light tuning stuff too.
Yeah.
It's sort of not, it's not the stuff that you would be knee deep in the engine, but it's kind of that peripheral stuff that a lot of people like to do or have done to their cars.
It's the passion.
It's the passion.
I mean, I know it sounds really overused
No,
word or whatever,
yeah.
but I mean, you detail the car, and my philosophy is you detail it, it looks great, I feel wonderful, and then my job is to go get it dirty again.
Right.
And most people are like, oh, what are you doing? Like, I don't, no trailer queen thing here. So
Yeah.
I like showing how to clean it, and then things that you can do with your car. Dyno it, go to the track, et cetera, et cetera.
Yeah. Cool. And that's what I love about that show too, is that you really make it about using the car. It's not just, polishing and detailing so that you can put it in a corner and not touch it.
Yeah. We'll touch a lot of those aspects.
Yeah.
But I think just for me, because if I'm the guy doing it, I can't really fake enthusiasm.
Right.
I want to go out and have fun with it.
Okay. So getting into detailing. So it seems like detailing is really hot.
Super hot.
Now.
It's
What's
a bit,
happening?
well, the market has gone up with these cars. So take in, for example, my car, the 964.
Yeah.
Air-cooled cars going nuts. So the prices are going huge. So if you detail a car and the car is let's say $100,000, just use round numbers,
Yeah.
and you detail it, you're going to give a significant 2%. What is it going to be, an extra $2,000 you might be able to get out of that if the car's perfect and the guy looks at it and like, oh wow, the paint's great.
Yeah.
So the value is helping these guys. So these guys who are selling it are trying to find detailers, which is creating a bigger market.
Right.
You follow?
Yes, and if you can add value to a car, there's a business because
for
there's
sure.
money there,
Sure.
right? So that's why a lot of people want to get into that business.
No doubt.
Because really, the whole car collecting business has gone nuts, and
It's insane.
and the auction thing too. So everybody's got a car they want to bring to auction. Not everybody, but a lot of
Yeah.
people are actually selling and buying more than they would have before because there's so many auctions, so much
Yeah.
liquidity.
The market's recovered. Everyone's kind
Yeah.
of settled out.
So it's becoming a thing to do.
It's becoming a thing. So a lot of the emails that I'll get are people saying, "Hey, I want to jump from my job." So I they're still got their hand on the job, and then I want to let go and go to detailing. And I go like, let's make sure that you want to do it. And some of the steps that I would tell them is, hey, go to a body shop and try to find a panel, and kind of walk in there and say, hey, I want a panel, and they'll look at you like you're crazy. But the holy grail is to get a black hood. And I kind of walk out and I hold it up and I'm like, man, this thing is crazy. And then you practice on there and you decide, you make mistakes, you gouge it, you scratch it, you sand it, you do anything you want to do with it.
Yeah, well, it's interesting because it seems so obvious,
Yeah.
right? To go to the body shop, that's where the body panels are that are professionally painted that you can mess with. But I don't know if I would have thought to do that, but like that, you get that and you practice on that rather than practicing on your car because you're going to make mistakes.
You're absolutely going to make mistakes. Unless you have a brother or sister where you're trying to punish them or whatever and you don't really care,
Right.
then the safest way is to get that practice panel.
Right.
It's kind of like being, I hate saying this, but you get the point. It's kind of like being a doctor and you practice on, cadavers or whatever.
You go where the cadavers are.
Yeah, so this is kind of,
You
the
go to
car
medical
that-
school because that's where the cadavers
Yeah,
are, right?
detailing, medical school, same
Same
thing.
thing. Because you got to build the skills, right? So
Yeah.
there are skills involved. So yes, there's a learning curve.
Absolutely skills involved, but I think those are learnable.
Yeah.
I think what I'm seeing going forward. So okay, now you've decided I'm making a leap.
Yeah.
You have enough, capital cash flow to keep you going for the next 6 months.
Yeah.
You start your business, you're going out, everything is great. What I find the most difficult to make that transition from owning a business to owning a profitable business, it's very interesting. It's unique, and we talk about this in the seminars. People spend 80% of their time focusing on what's the technique, what's the product to use, what's the pads, all very important things.
Yeah.
The other 20% is how do I make money to survive for the next day?
Sure.
I think that needs to be flipped.
Yeah.
I think 80% of the time we need to be thinking about, is this a profitable job? Should I be doing this? Is it too dangerous? Is my insurance, do I have insurance for this?
Yeah.
All the little things that,
That's another thing. Insurance is interesting because
It's crazy.
you mess up somebody's car.
Think
Who's
about the
on
cars that I'm
hook?
doing.
Right.
$40 million car.
You're doing a $40 million car.
My insurance policy is insane. That's why I have people.
Allstate's like, I don't know if we're going to cover that.
No, this is all, you have to get special, when you go over $1 million or whatever, you have to get specialty insurance. But that's a
Right.
whole other, that's a
Yeah.
video for another day.
But that is something to consider.
Sure.
Now, is it like if you were a carpenter or something, you're licensed and bonded and that kind of thing, or is there's nothing like that?
There's nothing like that. They're trying to do that in the industry and standardize things where you can take a standardized test and see whether you're competent, blah, 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 blah. But it's still very new, as opposed
Yeah.
to like, ASE, the certified mechanic.
Sure,
There's
yeah.
a school that you have to go through. You get a stamp, I'm now, whatever.
Right.
Detailing, not so much.
Okay.
But I actually see it, I probably see it the next 5 to 10 years that's
Right.
going to be a certain level. Hey, do you have your stamp on there?
Yeah.
And then you can work on the car.
So you start by practicing. You start
Totally.
by going to learn the stuff, like watch your show, go online and find all the other detailing stuff that you can find.
You can also find detailers. If you're obsessed and you're making this leap, I really stress people, hey, don't let go of one branch, like meaning hold on to your job,
Sure, yeah,
work on
yeah.
the weekends or whatever,
Yeah.
and double time it. I call it double time, work extra hard,
Yeah.
and go find a guy who's really good and shadow him, like I was saying before. I mean, I don't know how to change the oil on a McLaren, but if I sit here and watch him do it, I'll be like,
Right.
I got a pretty good idea, I'll
Yeah.
make some mistakes,
Right.
but that's how I think people should do is like just stand there and kind of watch a guy do his thing,
Yeah.
if that's possible. A lot of guys don't allow that, but you get my point.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. And obviously, like, you have to kind of speak up for yourself, and in a way that, like, if you want to learn something,
Mm-hmm.
you go to a shop and you go, look, can I work part time, or do you? I mean, how do you do that? I mean, is that like,
It's kind of like a New Yorker thing.
I was going to say, that is kind of a New Yorker thing. You just
like
go, hey, can I watch you work?
Yeah, just ask. It's sort of like driving. I say, like, nobody gives you anything in the city.
Right.
You have to take it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But you know what I mean? Like, you got to
Sure.
take your spot, or no one's going to be like, hey, come on in.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So that sort of...
Here are all the things I know.
Yes.
Go out and be in competition with me.
Exactly.
Right,
So, all kidding aside, if you go in and explain to them, hey, this is what I'm trying to do. I'm willing to work for you. I'm willing to work on the side. I'm willing to do it for free or whatever it is. I don't know what your deal is, but I'm yours kind of thing. That is more helpful than just walking in and being like, oh, I'll stand there and watch you for an hour, and now I know the whole thing.
Well,
it's just tiny little progressions.
Right, and there is a trust thing, obviously. I mean, this is all stuff you could, go somewhere else to learn. But you have to kind of climb that learning curve, get some practical experience, and not just, it's good to practice at home on your, the hood that you got from the body shop, but. You have to, if you want to make it a career, you have to get the practical experience.
Yeah, so think about that first little thing we were talking about, with practicing, going to the body shop. That's just to figure out if you really want to make the leap.
Right.
Because it's no joke. I mean, it's a hardcore, strength thing, and et cetera. So now, okay, I'm sure I'm going to do it, mom, dad, wife, I'm going to do this. Then you have to practice, but this can be tightened down, shrunk, a little bit if you go to school. And there's multiple schools. I'm doing a bunch of training. There's things where you can just kind of jam tons of information in a week. But you got to it's like going to boot camp for like real. You don't go like, I'm going to test out this boot camp and see how Army is. They don't like that. You got to make the decision. And once you sign that paper, your hair comes off and then you're in. You know what I mean?
Exactly right.
So it's kind of in stages.
Well, and it's interesting because probably because the collector car industry is booming.
Yeah.
There are more and more classes and more schools that are teaching things like restoration jobs and things like really hardcore detailing like you do. So there are places to learn. I mean, there's a motorsports welding school.
They're very niche little things.
Yeah,
Basically, you got to
exactly.
go find the guy who's doing the best welding in the industry or whatever that they're trying to do.
Yeah.
Ask him and figure out where we can get trained. And with respect to detailing, there's a couple of schools out there.
Right.
I'm obviously doing a couple of things on my own, and the response is going crazy. Everybody's very thirsty for knowledge. That's what these videos are doing.
Right.
It's kind of inspiring them to seek more. That's what Drive Clean is about. And that's why I keep seeing people on the street. It's hard for me to give you the template because I don't know what your car is.
Yeah.
I have no idea. It's more of okay, I see how this is kind of done. Now I'm going to take a little bit of those skills and apply it to this car or this trailer or that truck or that boat.
It's the practical stuff. So let's go through the checklist, right? Yeah. So you've got to learn the skills on something that's not a car. It's not your car, and
unless
it's not anyone else's car. That's going to pay for something. Because you're going to make mistakes.
Yeah.
It's like learning to ride a motorcycle. You're going to drop it, right?
You absolutely are.
You don't buy the best bike first.
You know going in that there's going to be problems.
Exactly. Second thing is practical experience, whether it's shadowing somebody who does it for real, or getting, maybe going to a school, learning that stuff. And then the third thing is the business of it, learning business. I mean, maybe you have to take a business class. I mean, you have to probably learn all of that stuff.
When I do my seminars and all these kind of things, it's like a broken record with me. It's the one thing, and I have to say that I'm guilty of it too. Like I love the detailing geekiness of it. That's all I want to talk about. I want to talk about Porsches, I want to talk about detailing, and I kind of just pushed away the business aspect. Right. I mean, there's everything from, is your business incorporated? Oh yeah, of course, my CPA did it. Right. Are you holding book minutes? Are you holding annual meetings?
Oh sure, there's all that business. You have to keep your
solid business. Yeah, if you're not an actual doing these things to keep your business, if you get sued, they'll sue you personally if you mess up. I can go through 100,000 things that I didn't realize in the last couple of years as I'm learning.
Yeah.
That are so much more important. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Because there's no YouTube video like how to incorporate. Maybe there is. I don't know.
They're out there somewhere.
I'm sure there's 7 views on it or whatever. But you get my point.
Yeah, exactly. So that's basically it. And then also watch Drive Clean.
Well,
so there you
watch
go.
Drive Clean. That wasn't a plug at all.
Well,
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, your show is weekly on Drive
on Wednesdays
for free.
For free, yeah, absolutely. It's inspiration.
Yeah.
There's almost impossible, and I can't sleep at night. I'm like, ooh, maybe if I put this in the video, I'll cover a lot more room of every. I think everybody knows it's virtually impossible to please everybody.
Yeah.
So I want to show how I'm thinking and what I'm doing, and hopefully some of those little aspects that are rolling around in my head, people can take from the video and put on whatever they're doing or use. Larry Larry did that and that went really bad, so I'm going to do
I'm gonna
this.
do something else.
You know, you get my point.
And that's great. That's why, you know, using your own car and your own experience stuff is great.
Yeah.
Cool, man. Great to see you.
Thanks for having me on.
Come back anytime, and watch Drive Clean, obviously, on Drive, weekly this season.
Yep, and I have my my own YouTube channel, of course.
Yes.
You can just Google me. It's ammonyc.com, and then shoot me emails at larry@ammonyc. If you have any, you know, hey, I got a question about blah blah blah, just larry@ammonyc.com.
Cool, man. All right, that's After Drive for today. Larry Kosilla, thanks again, man.
I appreciate it.
We see you guys next time.